What's up, YouTube? It is Dusk here with a new Nature Light V2 deck showing off the power of ramp and the civilization that represents it. But before we get to the ramp and its big guns, we gotta start small. So I'll be showing this deck to you guys in scale of level. It is a 42 card deck, which is 2 above my normal rule of 40 no matter what, but the deck kind of balances itself out. For level 1, we have 3 Chasm Entanglers. You can use Thunder Cruiser in place of this, and while I realize there's only like a 1 in a million chance of this happening, it has actually happened to me twice in playtesting against different people, of course, where they saw this, thought on turn 1, thought I was building up for an Enforcer evolution, and they blew one of their Comet Missiles turn 2. That really saved some big blockers I'm going to be showing later on, so that's why I decided to stick with Chasm Entangler. If you can win that mind game, that's a Comet Missile out of the way. Moving up to level 2, 3 Sunstalk Seeds. More early turn presence, more blockers, and 2 for 3k. Always nice, plus it can attack. Well, creatures anyway. Shields, not so much. The only other level 2s I have for this deck are 3 Sprouts. It's ramp, you need them, and you need them in 3s or nothing when you run Sprouts. Otherwise, it just doesn't show up when you need it or at bad times. So just, yeah. Good shield blast whenever, good mana fodder late game, and good turn 2 play if you can do it. Moving on to level 3 cards, I got 3 Star Lanterns. It's a 3 for 3,000, which isn't as efficient as the 2 for 3,000 of Sunstalk Seed, but as you guys know, with Star Lantern's Photon Sting ability, whenever this thing blocks, doesn't matter if it wins that battle or not, you get to tap another enemy creature, so it can block essentially 2 creatures in one go. Too valuable not to put in a deck. Building up with the ramp, 3 Razor Hides. I normally prefer Bronze Arm Tribes, but I couldn't fit him in, and this guy can get you more mana earlier at that, so yeah, I had to go with him, especially since I'm not running any evolutions in this deck, so I couldn't rely on Sabretooth to give me extra mana upon defeat, so I had to come up with extra mana off of this guy. Moving on to turn 4 plays, you know this one's coming. 3 copies of Reap and Sow, the, in my opinion, best common on the market. You tap 4, you look at 2 cards on the top of your deck, and your choice which one goes to mana and which one stays in your hand. It replaces itself in the hand and gives you free mana. Plus thins out the deck, giving you a better chance of drawing what you need when you need it later on in the duel. Great card. This next card was a suggestion from my buddy Alex, the host of the channel Kaijudo Yoshi. Suggested I replace my Breaches with 3 copies of, Breach the Veils with 3 copies of The Great Arena. In playtesting, this proved effective. It didn't show off so much in the duel video, but yeah, there are a lot of cards in here that can set it off. What it does is, whenever you play a creature 5,000 power or more into the battle zone, you draw a card. So, while it doesn't get you mana like Reap and Sow, you get the chance to get multi-draws off of them. And they stack, so if you have 2 out and bring out a level of 5,000 power or more creature, you get to draw 2 if you want. I got a lot of level 6 plays here. We'll start with the Shield Blast, which happened to be good for anti-rush. 2 Tendril Grasps. Send all level 3 and lowers to mana, not just your opponents, but yourself, so you could build up a good ramp up until you have 6 mana, play this, clear the whole field, and then the next turn, be ready to play your level 8 and higher creatures, straight off the bat. Now you've seen light, so you know 3 Storm Spark. Cast it, tap all enemy creatures, nothing else needs to be said, I believe. And, getting on to our beaters, I will even count them off as we go. 2 Grandeur Tower Keepers, let me just scroll that up there so you can see. Level 6 for 9,000 blocker, Skirmisher. 2 beaters so far. Moving on to... by the way, despite this guy not seeing a lot of play usually, he is really good in this deck. There have been way too many times I was able to pull out both of them in one move, and it just... no opponent is ever truly ready to see 2 9,000 summons at the same time. At least that's what I believe. If you guys have combos or tricks that you believe could get past that out of nowhere, by all means, pitch some strategies. You might be able to come up with better decks for the channel. Yes, cranking the beat stick total up to 5. 3 Starlight Strategist. Whenever you play it, you get to tap an enemy creature, and then afterwards, if you play another Skyforce champion, which it itself is, you get to tap an enemy creature again. They do, of course, stack. So you summon 1 Starlight Strategist, tap an enemy creature, summon the second Starlight Strategist, its own effect kicks off for itself being summoned, and then since that's a Skyforce champion, the first Starlight Strategist, tap a 3rd creature. To keep the Skyforce champion count playable, this will up our beat stick count to 7. Our first level 7 play, 2 copies of Ravu's Seeker of Lightning. I have 3, but I found playing this guy in 2 was best, and I did try the evolution, the Ravu the Stormbringer. Evolutions just slowed this deck down, actually. It didn't matter what I tried. I have been playtesting this for weeks, by the way, before bringing it to you. But yeah, Ravu, level 7, 6,500 Skyforce Champion Double Breaker. This 6,500 power for 7 mana is a fair trade-off in the fact that it is a blocker who can double break and untaps at the end of each turn. The versatility with this guy is maddening. Now, if you want something that'll just make your opponent mad, 3 Root Trap. Good removal, you can just send 1 creature that the enemy has to the mana zone. We don't care what it is. Terror Pit's probably a better removal, but Root Trap you can use on your turn without the Shield Blast, and you don't have to use up another copy of itself in mana with this deck. Boosting our beat stick count up to 9, 2 copies of Lepidus the Ancient. I was running 3 of these guys, but that seemed to be a little too much in opening hand, so I find dropping down to 2 is working pretty well for me. Level 8 Megabug, 8,000 Double Breaker. And I realize I laughed at this guy first, but he is, and when he was first revealed that is, but he is doing me a lot of justice. This Deafening Wing Beat ability is much more playable than I had originally thought. If any of your creatures wins a battle, this is if they attack or if they block and win a battle, you get to send 1 enemy shield to mana. I win too many games by getting rid of Shield Blast with this. The other level 8s I've got, which boost our beat stick count from 9 to 11, 2 copies of Deathblade Beetle. He's a level 8 Megabug with 9,000 power, Double Breaker, and Booming Chirp. Whenever he attacks, you get to look at the top card of your deck, which means you don't have to reveal it to your opponent. But if it's a creature with 5,000 power or more, you can reveal that card to your opponent to add it to your hand. Now, this is good, but the moment I can get my hands on Karagar of the Hordes, this guy's gone. That dragon is just too much, too good by comparison. And the last card of the deck, which finally brings our beat stick count up to 13. 2 copies of Orion Radiant Fury. A level 9 Celestial Dragon with 10,500 power. Not the strongest creature in the game, but close enough to do some serious damage. Especially since when it comes out, it gets its Laser Lances ability, which taps up to 3 enemy creatures of your choice. That's a semi-Storm Spark upon summon. And if the enemy has the nerve to defy your light creatures by banishing this guy, his 3-headed ability kicks in, where you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and summon, well, not summon, but bring any number of them, any number of those 3 cards that are light, non-evolution creatures into the battle zone. This is also where my switching Ravu the Stormbringer to Ravu Seeker of Lightning became a good thing, because I've had this guy banished by Terror Pit once. I do not understand why the guy did it when he was in a good position to finish the game, but oh well. 2 of those top 3 cards were my Ravus, and that gave me the win. But yeah, that's the Nature Light V2 ramp deck I've come up with. Any opinions you guys can offer, by all means, leave comments below. Like, subscribe, check out my other videos, and if you guys have any ideas of things I can do to help spice up my channel, by all means, more comments, or even message me. There is a link to a match, well, there are links to the duel videos of a match involving this deck in the description below. I think that covers just about everything. I will see you guys next week with a deck utilizing the dragons that I got out of my Dragon Master collection kit. He'll be seeing you then.